think for some it can be a lifeline. I know without having a cell phone in some areas, women that don't have a cell phone or don't have access to one, it puts them at a greater risk. They'll have no way to reach out for help. And in the instances where cell phones do not work, and if it's out in the rural areas and it's high risk, that's where MTS trackers are so important for the women. It's not going to maybe save a life, but it certainly will give them the freedom to be able to move around because some women can't walk out to their barn maybe to do the chores. There's no cell service. And so the abuser would know that as living there prior to if he had been living there. So at least if she takes her tracker out and she sees him, she can push the button and the police would be notified, right? So it's things like that gives them the ability to move around a little more freely, to at least know that somebody will come if I push that button. So those two things make a huge difference for women. I guess, Lisa, you can probably speak to more, but I think that's some of those things are key to keeping women alive, basically, and helping, right, in that sense.
I think safety is a huge piece, as Faye has mentioned. I would also add that through the pandemic and the inability to meet with service providers face-to-face, some of the technology as well, for example, like an iPad has allowed, or even a cell phone, has allowed support services to be able to be accessed, which otherwise it could not be accessed. And with the pandemic, I know a lot of frontline services have gone to, virtual support sessions as well. So they're actually able to get that support either, over a Zoom or by the use of a cell phone, with minutes that we can add to that, to actually be able to access services and look at, what it is that individual wants to be able to take the next step that they want to take.
I think another thing to add to that, I just thought of, is that since because of COVID, our courts all went to Zoom. And so quite often the women would say, I don't have a laptop. I don't have any way to open like a Zoom. So we were scrounging to find a way to get a woman a laptop to get something to her or to a police station, because it's not safe to bring her to offices sometimes. So she could actually attend court, because it doesn't look good when she can't show up, right? It's frowned upon in her favor. And you're like, there's no access, there's no nothing. And some of their answers used to be, well, they can go to the library. And I used to say, it's not very, nice to be sitting in a library in court. Like that's not an option for a lot of women to go to the library and use the internet there and a laptop. So yeah, that was a big factor in that COVID, and it still is in our rural areas as well. So, and I think our courts will continue to be hybrid. I don't believe we're going to ever go back to fully just having courts. So, or meetings even for that matter, for some of the high risk meetings and stuff.